And we are on air.
Hi guys, my name's Brianna, and there's some things about my trip to playlist that I'd love to share with you guys, but the problem is none of them are big enough for their own storytime video. So I thought today I'd take a whole bunch of stuff that happened at playlist and just share them with you guys, so it's gonna be like a collection of a whole bunch of mini story times. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so these aren't necessarily in any particular order, but I just made a list of all the things I want to share with you and stuff, so yeah. Okay, this one was so funny. So I went to a panel called YouTube Honesty Hour, and in that panel was Alex Wasabi. Now, in the middle of the panel, or let's backtrack. Throughout the whole panel, he wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't listening.
He was just like staring off into space, not listening. So every time they would ask him his opinion on something or whatever, he would just be like, wait, what was the question? Or he would be like, sorry, I wasn't listening. Or whatever, stuff like that. So, halfway through the panel, he decides to take his water bottle cap and put it in his mouth and just start messing around with it. So now, the whole crowd is looking at him and hysterically laughing. Meanwhile, the other people on the panel are kind of like talking about serious stuff, and everybody can't take them serious because there's just Alex just messing around with the water bottle in his mouth, putting it in, out, like that with the cap of his water bottle. Then he decides to randomly tilt his head back, spit the cap into the air, and then try and catch it as it fell back down. I don't know why, but he was doing it. And then he decides to put the cap in his mouth, put his mouth up to the microphone, and then when he pulls away, the cap is balanced on top of the microphone. So I don't have a video of those last two things, but I do have a clip of him just messing around with the cap in his mouth, so I can show you guys that.
Like it's just like another platform that radicalizes people, which is upsetting and like not good. Like maybe.
Yeah, I just thought that was so funny and ridiculous. Like, you're at a panel and you're trying to like talk and like give advice and like answer questions, and he's just doing his thing with a water bottle cap. But speaking of Alex Wasabi, another thing that has to do with him is when I went to a meet and greet for the Merrill twins, his meet and greet was right next to ours. So first, he's kind of riling up his crowd, right? He's getting them to scream, so they're all like, woo! And they're like clapping. And so, Vanessa from the Merrill twins turns to us and she goes, why are they clapping? I feel like you guys should be clapping. So we all start clapping and we're like, woo! Right? Then he jumps up on a chair and gets them chanting. They're like, wasabi, wasabi, wasabi. So all of us and the Merrill twins, we start chanting, Merrill twins, Merrill twins, Merrill twins.
Wasabi! 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 Wasabi!
And then he just keeps having everybody scream. So then we're just going back and forth. And then eventually the twins are like, alright guys, it's alright. But he's just still over there riling up his crowd. And then he picks some random employee, her name was Maria, and he just goes, alright guys, her name's Maria. So then everybody starts going, Maria, Maria. And he was just, what is he doing? He's at a meet and greet. He's just like having everybody scream random stuff. It's just funny. Okay, so moving on from Alex, I met other creators while I was at playlist, so let's talk about that. So in the first meet and greet I went to, I met Boston Tom. He was really nice. We had a really cool conversation. Took a little clip from my vlog, but then we were gonna take like a regular selfie, right? So first he's just smiling and it's chill and it's just a normal picture. Then he takes the marker, not like his marker that he's using to like sign everybody's thing. He takes my marker, my pink marker, and puts it in his mouth. He's just eating my marker. And then he takes it out of his mouth and he's like, oh, I probably shouldn't do that. Other people are going to use this. And I was like, oh, I'm sure it's fine. And it was just, why would he do that? It was so funny. He just starts, in the middle of the picture, just puts the marker in his mouth. But I don't have a video of that, but I have pictures. Okay. So, now, this was Sunday, after playlist, like, you know, playlist was over, but I was still in the hotel, walking around for maybe about an hour and a half after it ended, and it was getting less crowded, some more creators were coming out and walking around, whatever. So, I met Megan Curry and Miles McKenna, okay? And so my like interaction with Miles was, you know, chill, whatever. They were both like there together, so the whole thing is kind of with both of them, but this story mostly revolves around Megan. So I just walk up, at first I see Miles, so I'm like, hey, can we get a picture? And I was like, oh, by the way, like I met you on your tour when you went in Boston. Miles was like, oh yeah, that's dope. Then I go to Megan, and I take a picture with Megan, right? And then she's like, oh, you know, I'm thinking about getting pink hair. So I was like, oh, you should totally do it. And then she was saying how she was worried about, like, the damage, though, from the bleach. So, I mean, it would be totally weird to tell someone to touch your hair, but we were, like, talking about that. So I was like, I mean, it's not that bad. You could touch my hair. So she goes like this, and she goes, oh, wow, this is nice. She starts twirling my hair. And then she looks at Miles and she goes, I don't need to dye my hair. I could just take this with me. I'll just bring this with me. I'll just keep this. And she's just holding my hair and twirling my hair. It was just so funny. Okay. Another YouTuber I met was Swoozy. We took a video for my channel, but how I met him, I think, is so funny, because at that point I was like done looking for creators. I was about to leave. So I'm walking to go find my dad. And so in the background of my video, you can see my dad. Because I'm walking up to find my dad. I see my dad, I'm about to wave at my dad, and on the stairs, I see Swoozy. So I was like, can we take a picture? And then I was like, oh wait, actually, can we take a video for my channel? And like, blah, blah, blah. And then you just see my dad walking behind us down the stairs. And then my dad's watching me take this video with him. It was just so funny.
This way.
Okay,
That's done. Quinooties?
Yeah.
Okay, let's
look who I ran into.
Hello, how's the vlog going so far?
It's pretty good, it's pretty
Like
good.
on a scale of 1 to 10, like an 11?
Yeah, like an 11.
Alright, so listen guys, unsubscribe from me and subscribe to her. It's that simple. There's like a limit on YouTube now, right?
yeah,
There
definitely.
it is. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.
Okay, moving on from creators, let's talk about the airport and the plane. Oh my gosh. So, my dad genuinely 100% thought we were gonna miss our flight going home. Because when we got to the airport, the line was crazy long for security. And so, it literally looked like it was gonna take so long. But it literally took like 20 minutes to a half hour or less. I don't know. It started moving so quick and the line looked like it was gonna take like over an hour. And we were all just like, what? How is this line moving so fast? It was the craziest airport experience I've ever had. We didn't have to take off our shoes. We didn't have to take like our electronics out of our backpack. We just went right through. And it was crazy because we literally thought we were going to miss our flight. But no, we just went through like that. And then I got in the plane and I was so lucky. I had like the outside seat and there was another guy in my row. He had the middle seat. The person who had the window seat never showed up. So the guy in the middle seat moved over to the window seat. So I had, and this guy had this whole like middle chair that we could just share, put our stuff on and not even worry about it. So it was great. But I had problems when we were landing. I've been good on planes like past planes I went on, like the plane to Orlando, and then I went to Italy, all the plane rides, I was fine. For some reason, coming home during landing, I like felt like my head was going to explode. My ears hurt so bad. The pain was like shooting down this way. It was just so bad. And then it didn't go away until like that whole night it hurt. And when I slept, it was still hurting. In the morning it was a little bit better. And then like by now, it's the day after, it's better, but like, ow. I don't know why I had such a horrible experience. That's never happened to me before, but oh well. But back to playlist, because I have a couple more things to say. One of the panels I went to, it was called Part-Time Probs. Was it managing? It was balancing school or work and social media. The moderator was late, and everybody on the panel was young. They were like college age or younger. So yeah, some were in high school, some were in college. They didn't know what to do, so they just sat there and waited. And it was so funny, but it was so awkward because no one is saying anything. They're just sitting there, quiet, just not saying anything. And then like maybe after like 10 minutes, they started asking questions, but it was just like they didn't know how to handle it, so it was just weird and funny. But the moderator showed up eventually, and then we had a real panel. But that was just like they totally had no clue how to handle it, and it was just so weird. But speaking of people not showing up, I went to another panel. It was supposed to be the collaborations panel. The moderator didn't show up. None of the creators showed up. At first, me, as well as this huge crowd of people waiting for this panel, thought they were just late. Until about 20 minutes in, we realized they weren't coming. One of the creators that was supposed to be on that panel was like tweeting or Instagramming, I don't remember, about going out to dinner. And we're like, you're supposed to be at a panel right now. And no one from Playlist like came into the panel room and told us like, oh, it's canceled. So we were just waiting there like, oh, they're just late or something. But it ended up being really fun because me and a couple other people who have YouTube channels went up and sat like behind the microphones and started talking a little bit. Then someone from Playlist finally came in, and we thought they were like gonna kick us out, but they sat down at the mics, fixed up some of the audio, and then went, now you guys are official. So we were just talking at this panel, but eventually some people, got kind of crazy and they had to shut it down. But for like a solid 5-10 minutes, we were just chilling at the panel, me and some other people, talking behind the mics. It was really funny and cool. But yeah, so those are just some of my stories from Playlist. It was such an amazing time. I definitely recommend you go, and I would love to go again. I mean, I could talk on and on and on about all the experiences I had at Playlist. It was just amazing. But I think that's all I'm going to share for now. But alright guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy VEDIM, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Mwah.